Very good morning, students. In this video, you're going to learn about the cycling of carbon molecule in the atmosphere as a part of ecology. So let me share that PPT. We'll continue the content. So moving on to nutrient cycle, carbon cycle. So before going to the carbon cycle, let me aware about what is nutrient cycle. So nutrient cycle is defined as cyclic pathway excuse me, by which nutrients pass through in order to be recycled and reutilized. So that is the nutrient cycle. So this cycle comprises of individual cell, a group of organism, a group of different types of community and ecosystem involving the biotic and abiotic components. In this process, nutrients get absorbed when it goes from one level to another level. So the nutrients get absorbed and transferred from one organism to another organism. Then it is released to the atmosphere by decaying process. Then it is reabsorbed. That's why we call it as nutrient cycling. So it is a natural recycling system of mineral nutrients. Nutrients consumed by the plants and animals are returned to the environment after the death and decomposition, and the cycle continues. So that's why we call it as nutrient cycle. So let me have an example of carbon cycle. So that is also one nutrient cycle. Continuation of the nutrient cycle, soil microbes play an important role in nutrient recycle because without microorganisms, there will be no decomposition. So the material cannot be recycled back. So soil microbes play a very important role in nutrient recycling. They decompose organic matter to release the nutrients. Decomposition in the sense, it converts the complex organic substances into simpler substances. They also important to trap and transform the nutrients into the soil, which can be taken up readily by the plant roots. Nutrient recycling involves both biotic and abiotic components. The main abiotic components are nothing but the environmental factors, air, water, and soil. Recycling of nutrients like carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen occurs in the water, air, and soil, whereas the cycling of nutrients like calcium, phosphorus, potassium are recycled mainly in the soil and are available locally. So let me start the carbon cycle. Carbon molecule, it is the main constituent of all living organisms. So the composition of all living organisms, it is carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. All the organic matter and biomolecules contain carbon. Carbon is present mainly as carbon dioxide and methane gaseous form in the atmosphere. There is a continuous exchange of carbon between biotic and abiotic components by the presence of photosynthesis and respiration. Atmospheric carbon dioxide is fixed by plants in the process of photosynthesis. Then all living organism also releases carbon dioxide during respiration. Carbon is again released into the atmosphere by burning of fossil fuels and auto emissions also. Organic carbon from dead and decaying organism and waste product is released into the atmosphere after decomposition. So let me explain very clearly in the cycle. Plants are taking carbon dioxide for the metabolic activity. We call it as photosynthesis. And from the plants, it goes to animal, herbivorous animal. So the cycle continues. After the death and decay of the plant and animal by microorganism, again it is deposit in the soil, or some it may mix it with the atmosphere in the gaseous form. Meanwhile, animal respiration and human respiration also releases carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and some factory emissions which we are using the fossil fuel also, we are running the factories, and through the chimneys also it is returning back to the atmosphere. So the red ones indicating how the carbon is utilizing by the organism. Carbon dioxide is utilized by the plant for the photosynthesis. After the death and decay of the plant, it deposits as a fossil fuel. Meanwhile, the fecal matter of animal, where we are doing the biogas production, the methane produces from the fecal matter of the animals also deposit as a fossil and fuel. And again, because of the decomposition, some gaseous form will return to the atmosphere. So meanwhile, respiration process also releases carbon dioxide. And by utilizing the mining of fossil and fossil fuel, we are running the factories that also will release the carbon. So hope by this video, you students can able to understand what is nutrient cycle, why it is important, how microorganisms play a very important role in nutrient cycling, and how the carbon cycles keep on going in the atmosphere. See you all in next video. Thank you.